Hello, welcome to Healthy Meals on a Budget. I'm Taylor Bays and I'm a UK dietetic intern with Laura, and we are going to be making a romaine and berry salad today. So I have our romaine, our blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and then we're going to be making a balsamic vinegar sauce with some garlic cloves and salt and pepper. So the very first thing we're going to do is go through our berries and trim them up. I have already washed them in advance, so that should be the very first thing you do. And we'll start with our strawberries. So we're going to need 16 ounces. This package is already set in 16 ounces. If you get a larger one, you can just measure it out. And pretty much with the strawberries, we're just going to cut off the top first. And then you can cut it in half like that, or if you want it smaller, you can cut it in half again and put it into fours. So you're just going to do those for all of the strawberries. And we're using berries today in the salad because all berries are a great source of antioxidants, and that's really important because it helps prevent damage to your cells, and that's really important as you get older and as your kids grow. We want to try and prevent that to the best of our ability. And raspberries and blueberries in particular, which are included in our recipe today, have a very high antioxidant content compared to all other berries. So this recipe is also good because it's an Eat the Rainbow recipe. And so we have our reds with our strawberries and raspberries, our blue-purple with the blueberries, our greens with our romaine lettuce, and then our whites, which is coming from our garlic cloves. And so we may be missing our oranges or yellows, which is typically comes in vegetable form. But overall, this is a really good recipe because it includes pretty much all of the rainbow. Okay, so as we're cutting these up, you can go ahead and add them to the bowl with your blueberries in it. My blueberries came in a larger package that wasn't 6 ounces, which is what you need for the blueberries, so I just went ahead and measured those out in advance. We're going to combine those all together, so you can go ahead and do that. You can also make this recipe a My Plate recipe by adding a lean protein. This can be chicken. You can do chicken in a can, tuna in a package, anything like that. Or if you have chicken from a recipe that's left over, you can do that. Chicken from a rotisserie chicken is also really good. Anything like that can round out the plate because then you have your vegetable, your protein, and your fruit. And then you can also add cheese to include your dairy. And then if you wanted, you could add some type of grain like croutons, and that would complete your My Chart meal. Okay, so that's all the strawberries. So now we're going to go ahead and add our raspberries. So you need 6 ounces of raspberries, and this package is a 6-ounce package. And so raspberries, I'm not going to cut these up. I like my raspberries whole, but if you want, you can always cut your raspberries in half. But I'm just going to add these straight to our bowl. Now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and get started on our sauce for our salad. And so you're going to need a saucepan. I'm using an electric skillet. You can use a saucepan, a pot, whatever you have. And so we're going to be using balsamic vinegar, and we need 2 teaspoons of that. I'm going to go ahead and pour that directly into my saucepan. And then I'm going to wait to turn it on because I'm going to chop up my 2 garlic cloves first. So I've already peeled the skin off this one first, and so it has a rough end on one side. I'm going to cut that end off. And then I'm just going to slice it as thin as I can get it in one direction. And just be careful because garlics are small, and so you get very close to your fingers, so just cut as close to it as you're comfortable. And then you're just going to turn it and cut in the other direction. And then we want to go for minced, and so that's as small as you can get it really. And so what I do is I just kind of bring it all together, and then I take my hand, put it on one side of the knife, and just kind of go in a back and forth motion. And then you'll notice that it'll get stuck to your knife. You can just push it off, put it into a pile again, and do the same thing. And once you get it chopped up as fine as you can go ahead and add it to your pan. Okay, so I've got that chopped up. I'm going to go ahead and add it. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this garlic clove. Okay, now we've got this one chopped up. We can go ahead and add it to our pan. And then we're going to turn our pan on medium heat. And we're just going to mix it together. And you want to wait until you get the vinegar to a boil, and then you're going to turn it down to a simmer, and you're going to let it simmer for about 5 to 8 minutes until it thickens up some. So we're going to wait for it to get to a boil first. And this may be easier to do in a small pot instead, just so that way it can come to a boil faster. Okay, so ours is coming to a boil now, so we're going to turn it down to a simmer. And we're just going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes or until it's thicker. You can just kind of eyeball it however thick you want your sauce to be. Okay, so our sauce has been simmering for about 5 minutes, so I'm just going to turn it off. And I'm just going to pour mine into a measuring cup so that way it's easier to distribute on the salad. So we have got our sauce poured out, so I'm just going to set that to the side for now. And then I have already chopped up most of my romaine lettuce. It calls for 2 heads, and so this is 1 head, and I've got my second one here. And so for this, I'm pretty much just going to, I've already peeled off the outer layers of the leaves. You just kind of peel it off until you get to the clean layers that look the best, and then wash it in the sink. And then I'm just going to do a wide chop because I want bigger leaves for my salad. You can cut it however big you want it. And I'm just going to kind of cut down until about here where the lettuce is starting to get really white and there's more stem than anything else because that's kind of hard and doesn't taste nearly as good as the top pieces. So then we're just going to add that to the salad. And then we're going to add in our beautiful fruit to add in a bunch of color. And you can mix that around, kind of mix it into the rest of the fruit, into the rest of the salad, and then I'm going to just pour my sauce on top. And then I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of salt and just a little bit of pepper on it. And then I'm going to mix all of this together. And there you have our salad. So we would normally add goat cheese on top of this just as a topping, but due to the supply chain shortages, it has not been in the grocery store, so you could definitely add goat cheese if you have access to that, regular cheese. Again, the chicken like we talked about, if you wanted to make it a nice plate meal, but if not, it's also great just like this. So here we have our salad.